A good friend of mine headed over to Spiel for a single day. Actually, he flew from Ireland to Germany in a single drop. While he was there, he managed to pick me up the new plastic Trench Crusade box set. So this represents the new Antioch faction, which is actually the standard faction that I'm doing for Trench Crusade as it is, but this is the new Prussian starter set for them. It's an incredible set of miniatures, and in today's video, I'm going to get one of them built up and painted to really put them to the test and see how they are. So I'm very excited to dive into that. As you guys know, I am in the middle of a Trench Crusade series. I'm testing out Green Stuff World's paints and seeing how they can work for Trench Crusade. I've gotten 3 or 4 videos under my belt so far, so I thought no better way to test out the next one than with some of these awesome models. Today I'm going to be working on their inks because I generally don't use inks an awful lot outside of this. I think I have a kind of a hold up from old Games Workshop inks, is like they used to dry really shiny and stuff like that. I didn't realize lots of inks are just matte when they dry, which is kind of interesting. So I'm going to dive in and have a play around with those as well, see if we can use them to represent kind of the speed paint or contrast paint stage of my painting, and then go from there. So before I dive into that though, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my active patrons and all the people out there that support the channel in all the myriad of ways it is possible to support me, whether by simply watching videos, liking, commenting, being subscribed, which are all super important, make sure you do those. But of course, mainly being a member of the Patreon is the best way to show support, and our Patreon is growing every single month, especially since our big revamp kind of 2 or 3 weeks ago now. It's seen quite a nice uptake and things are going very well. If you want to be a member of the Patreon, a bunch of benefits include extra videos every single week, extra podcast episodes, you get paint lists, you get access to a private Discord server, you can hang out with me on a daily basis and talk about your hobby, get involved with hangouts, painting competitions, monthly showcases, and of course we also do a nice big chunky giveaway every single month to a member of our Patreon. This month we'll be giving away the Real Space Raiders Army Battle Force set, so if you've ever wanted to get involved and get started with a Dark Eldar army, all you need to do is, if you want a chance of winning this, is be signed up. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's dive in and have a proper look at these awesome models. So this is the first plastic Trench Crusade set they have ever done, and they have talked at length that it is by no means the end. They are doing so many more plastic kits moving forward. In fact, I'm hearing rumors that they mentioned in a blog post recently that they will not be producing any more STL files, that all of their releases moving forward will be plastic kits to purchase, which I think is really cool. Obviously, the company needs to stay on its feet and make some money. If they give their rules away for free and they give lots of other companies options to make STL files for them, then their actual income stream is kind of worrying. So I like the idea of these awesome plastic kits being available. All I can say is that the quality of them is fantastic. This is the Field Chaplain, the model that I will be focusing on for today's video. I built him on my Twitch stream last night. I had a lot of fun doing him. How does it compare to other plastic modeling kits? It's like Games Workshop about 10 years ago, which was still incredible plastics. The detail is phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's a little bit softer than some of the more modern kits. That's totally fine. And there is quite a lot of mold lines, which is also totally fine. You just need to spend a little bit more time prepping, which is fine because, like I said, this box set is 8 miniatures and you've kind of got the beginnings of a warband. It's not like a Warhammer army where you've got 200 models that you need to get, built and painted and ready. So it's okay to spend a little bit more time prep work. But once the prep work is out of the way, the model is fully assembled. The detail is phenomenal. And each model is kind of inspiring. Every single model has some part on it that is optional, whether it be a close combat weapon or a shooting weapon or a head option or whatever. Even the Field Chaplain here is got some options as to whether he wants to be dueling and wielding his sword in 2 hands like this, or one hand sweeping and have a gun in the other. So it's really cool to see that option as well, which means that most people should probably purchase 2 sets of this and build kind of each variant. Like, I'm absolutely sure that taking flamers is a really solid and good choice for these miniatures. Whereas, like, the alternate build for the flamer is trench shotguns, and there's no way I'm not choosing to put a trench shotgun on a model, so I'm going to need a second set to do the field flamers, so that's just me. Obviously, I got the model sprayed with a nice coat of grey sear, and as you can see, I'm going through the Green Stuff World dipping inks and intensity ink range to get some basic base coats on this model, ready for a shade, and then obviously we'll start the layering process. Before I get into it, I just want to take a little bit of time and talk about what these particular models are, because obviously Trench Crusade is a very interesting thing, which has, 6 or 7 main primary factions, but inside those factions, there's many, many different, almost like sects or different aesthetics to go alongside that. And by that I mean, the best way I can kind of compare it is, it's like, say take Imperial Guard for Warhammer 40,000. Now think about the fact that an Imperial Guard infantry can be a Katachan or a Morian or a Vostroyan, or, you know what I mean, different aesthetics depending on what kind of area or world they're from. Well, here, these guys are from the faction which is New Antioch, which is the kind of the primary standard kind of military force that's defending kind of the world from all the demons and crazy stuff like that. It's the most standardized force, and there's many, 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 many different regiments out there, and they're all kind of got different aesthetics. So these particular ones are the Prussian Stosstruppen warband. If I said that really bad, I'm so sorry. Let's give a little bit of background about what they are. The Stosstruppen of the Free State of Prussia are amongst the most storied and fearsome of the New Antioch soldiers. Storming through the winding web of trenches that scar no man's land, the Stosstruppen move with peerless coordination as they deliver their famously brutal shock assaults. Even a small force of these noble soldiers can smash through the toughest heretic fortification with naught but a hail of grenades, a furious flurry of clubs, and a jaw full of gritted teeth and prayer. Like, that's a pretty cool like tagline right there. If you read that, it's going to kind of inspire. It's going to make you want to kind of get these guys in. And then we're going to specifically talk about the awesome character, the field chaplain, which is the one that I'm working on here in this video. So his little bit of fluff and background story is this, and it's so cool. Adorned in the finest armor and armaments by the church militant, the field chaplain take to the trenches often in the image of great angelic Templars, thanks to the large wood-carved wings framing the reliquaries on their back. Wielding ornate greatswords and shrouded in the scent of incense, a field chaplain inspires resilience, is bolstered by their use of holy smoke, a unique addictive chemical compound that inures its users to the physical and mental tolls of war. So as this guy wades down the trenches with flame and shotgun booming, assault rifles going off, he is clad in wholly ornate armor and wielding a sword with a huge pair of wings across his back. If that doesn't scream like a giant bullseye across his face, I don't know what does. He does not care, however, because billowing from his incenses around him is lots of crazy kind of psychedelic incense. And when units and infantry around him get kind of enveloped by that smoke and incense, they get kind of bolstered. They don't have to take fear checks, and can obviously stand shoulder to shoulder with him against some of the kind of craziest enemies that the Trench Crusade universe can throw at him. So I think he is absolutely phenomenal. What a design. And he was a genuine treat to paint up and get ready. As you can see, I stuck to a fairly simplistic color scheme because honestly, although the model looks fairly kind of complicated, he's not crazy. There's only a couple of like key features. You've got his gold and silver kind of trimmed armor, which is a fairly simple design. Then he has kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like burlap sacky kind of robes, and it goes up over his hood, a little bit on his sleeves. He's got some parchment billowing down. He's got his wings, and then he's got the reliquary of gold. Like, that's literally it. There's no more to the model. So you're only looking at kind of 3 or 4 or 5 kind of key locations that you need to, first off, throw a base coat on and get it shaded down, and then spend a little bit of time, kind of 2 paints a piece, layering up, and you get a really, really nice result after a very small amount of time. The only thing that I struggled with a little bit was the idea that the kind of parchment and the kind of burlap sack colored trousers and the wings are all quite similar tones. And it's one thing that I was quite glad that Green Stuff World seems to have quite an extensive range of kind of beiges to bone colors, which means I could hit these 3 distinct areas with 3 distinct sets of colors, then be separated enough, but also not kind of too garish next to each other. This is the particular color that you would substitute depending on your personal choice. I think most people would choose to paint the model mostly these colors. And then whatever allegiance you go to from the particular Prussian Free State, these guys have gone for yellow. But if you want to have blue, if you want to have red, green, whatever, you would paint this particular piece that color to help it kind of match in with the rest of your forces. I've still got 3 members of this warband to construct, and then I'll get cracking on painting some more of them. I genuinely think they're incredible. The only thing I genuinely don't like about this box set is the fact that the yeoman has a glockenspiel as a musical instrument. So he's ringing a pretty puny set of, I don't know, jingly bells as he's marching down. I just find that to be a strange choice of musical instrument, not a cool pair of drums or something, which I think would suit the Prussian aesthetic a little bit more. Yeah, I quickly kind of scanned to the yeoman section in the instructions to see if there's any alternate things you could give him, but it's only a head swap, so I guess I'll just have to bite the bullet and paint a little glockenspiel on this model. But other than that, every single model in there is absolutely stunning, and even the model with the glockenspiel is stunning. I just find the instrument choice a little bit bizarre. I thought about this model being quite ornate and his armor being kind of relics from the church, so I decided to add a little bit of patina to the armor, the gold and the silver to really finish off this piece, and this gave me this. This is my finished field chaplain miniature from the new plastic Prussian set for Trench Crusade. I assure you that I will be fighting tooth and nail to get my hands on all of the plastic Trench Crusade kits that do come out, and be giving you guys as many videos as I possibly can on how to build and paint them up. If you want to see more of the models that come inside of this box set in my future videos, please do let me know in the comments below. And as usual, make sure you like the video, drop any comments, and make sure you're subscribed. Those 3 things cost you nothing, make a huge difference as to how many people see these videos and how quickly the channel grows. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.